Yeah, I'm a gamer. Asterisk. This is my Nintendo 3DS game collection. I got my first 3DS. Yeah, that's right. I say first because I actually ended up getting two. But I got my first one in, I believe, December of 2011, and I played it to death. I loved the 3DS, and that's why I actually wanted. Eventually, when they made the upgraded model, I wanted the upgraded model, and so I ended up getting one. And then, yeah, over the course of the time when I played the 3DS, I've acquired all of these games, and I would like to share with you today all of the games that I have here, or at least physical games. I obviously have quite a few games downloaded to my 3DS as well, but I'm just going to be going over the physical releases because these, to me, these are the games that I cared enough to buy physically, or that I was able to buy physically. Most of the games that I have downloaded to my 3DS, I only downloaded them because you couldn't get them physically, because I like getting physical copies of games because I'm dumb. Anyway, but yeah, so I'd like to just go through them today. So, hang tight, try to contain your excitement, and let's get into it. First game here, so I have them laid out in alphabetical order. This isn't necessarily the order that I acquired the games, but because I already had them organized in alphabetical order, I'm going to be going through them in alphabetical order. So, first one we have here is Animal Crossing New Leaf. This game, I remember playing it so much after I got it. This was the first Animal Crossing game that I ever played, and it was the one that turned me into an Animal Crossing fan. New Leaf, in my opinion, might be the best game in the franchise. Yeah, I said it. I don't know. I was really involved in playing this game, and I clocked in so many hours. I believe it might be the second most played game in terms of like hours played in my whole library. Really like this game. Yeah, just don't know what else to say. I remember I got it during the summer of 2013, and I played it to death, even throughout the school year, and it was it was so good. Love that one. Next we got Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. I never owned the original Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii, but when this one was coming out, I was like, you know what, this is my chance to play it. I was told that this was actually the superior version of the game, so if I was going to get any version, it should be this one, and I don't regret it at all. I really like this game. It's a fantastic platformer. Definitely rivals even like Mario games, and anyone who's played Donkey Kong Country Returns or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze would probably tell you a similar story. Yeah, it was really fun. I was not that good at the game when I first got it, and what was cool is that this version actually introduced an easy mode to the game. So if you sucked like me, you had something to compensate for that. So definitely recommend this one. This one, I believe this one and New Leaf are now Nintendo Selects. I mean, obviously they're not sold in stores anymore, but you could probably find them for pretty cheap at like secondhand game stores or like online on eBay, or even then, I think when this video comes out, the 3DS eShop will technically still be active, so if you wanted to download these games digitally, you still could by this point. So I definitely recommend this one and New Leaf, even though New Leaf obviously does have sort of a spiritual successor / replacement in New Horizons. But if you want some good old Donkey Kong Country fun, this one's a good one. Next we got Kirby Triple Deluxe. This was one of the only 3DS games that I got that was actually a gift. It wasn't, well, a lot of them were gifts from like my family, but this one in particular was a gift from a couple of my friends. I was never really a big Kirby fan, but they got me this game, assumingly to try to get me into the Kirby franchise, and it worked. I love this game. This is a great Kirby game. It's great for beginners, or great for introducing people into the Kirby franchise. It's just a really fun game. I don't really know what else to say. Like, I actually replayed it recently, and I had a blast the whole time. It's definitely nothing too exciting. Like, there's not anything that's like super crazy or super innovative in terms of, you know, level design or story or, you know, general, like, just general game design. Like, it's a pretty generic Kirby experience, but that's kind of why I like it, and for that reason I think it's a great way to get new fans into the franchise. So yeah, definitely recommend this one. I know I'm gonna be saying that for a lot of these games, because a lot of these games, like, obviously I got them because I liked them, or I had an interest in them, and that made me want them, and, you know, the want for the game was justified when I played it. But yeah, next one we got here is Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I was really excited for this game when it was coming out, and I actually remember I was with my mom at Walmart late at night. It was like midnight, back when the Walmart by our house would stay open 24 hours. We actually stayed there. We were already shopping there, and it was pretty late at night, but she let me stay there until midnight. I don't know if that was the best idea. It was on a weekend, though. You know, I didn't have school the next day. And so we stayed there, and they let me. I don't know if we stayed until midnight. Maybe it was like a couple hours before, but I waited, and they gave me a copy of the game, and I was so excited to play it. And it was a really fun experience. It was the first Luigi's Mansion game I had ever played, and it was really fun. I actually haven't played the original Luigi's Mansion, but I played this one, and I've played 3. And honestly, 3 is probably better. But this one's definitely not bad for a handheld experience. It's definitely a good one. Next, we have Mario and Luigi Dream Team. The Mario and Luigi series, I was gonna say is a great series, but I rather it was a great series. It's you know, the company that used to make them, Alpha Dream, shut down. Super sad. But they did get this game on the 3DS with a couple others before they shut down. And this one's a pretty good one. The only Mario and Luigi games that I've played. Well, okay, I think I've played all of them except for Partners in Time and Paper Jam. So I've played 3 of the 5 main games. Including this one, obviously. And this one, like, I would say it's not better than Bowser's Inside Story, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. Like, and Bowser's Inside Story, I think, is generally considered the best of the series, but this one's definitely not bad. For the first 3DS title, I think it's pretty good. I think the idea of going into Luigi's Dreams is really fun. Works a lot very similarly to going inside Bowser when you're inside his digestive tract or whatever, and it's really fun, and you get some cool shenanigans. The art style isn't as charming as previous entries, but it's definitely still a fun one. I believe that's also a Nintendo Select. Next, we have Mario Kart 7. This was simply enough the Mario Kart for the 3DS, and it was fun. Pretty much every Mario Kart is fun. This was just the one that came out on the 3DS, and I played it a lot. It was, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's Mario Kart. Not much more needs to be said. It's a good game. Moving on. Next, we have Mario Party Island Tour. So this one's a little bit more of a controversial choice. Definitely the first game that I'm going over here that, not all people would agree is a good game. I, on the other hand, I liked it when I played it. And, it was one of the, I think it's one of the first Mario Party games that I played. And I, simply enough, I wanted it because I'm a Mario boy. Love me some Mario. And when I saw this game, I was like, you know what? I want that. So I asked for it for Christmas. I got it for Christmas in, I believe, 2014 or 2013. I think it was 2013. Regardless, I got it. I played it. I liked it. I don't remember too much about it. I just remember, there was obviously the board game mode. If we look at the back here, they just show off some of the mini games. And some of the boards. I remember this board with the bonsai bill here, and you had to hide from him in these little cubbies or whatever. I do remember that. But yeah, it's not the best Mario Party game, not by a long shot, but I don't think it's as bad as many people say. I think, obviously with Mario Party, people have high expectations, and this did not meet their expectations, but I don't think it's a bad game. It's just not what people want. Moving on. We have New Super Mario Bros. 2, another kind of polarizing game, but, on sort of a different level, because this game, it's kind of undeniably a good game. Like, I don't think anyone would call this a bad game, but it's super generic, and there's not a whole lot about it that's really exciting. I mean, obviously, you have the goal of trying to collect 1 million coins, and there just being coins everywhere in the game, and that's kind of what makes it stand alone from the other New Super Mario Bros. Games, which is a fun concept, don't get me wrong, and collecting coins is super fun, but you're not gonna find anything in this game that's too different from previous New Super Mario Bros. Games, and I think that's why a lot of people have sort of a negative feeling towards this game, because it didn't really do anything new, and it's literally called New Super Mario Bros. It's like, but I like this game. I remember really enjoying this game when I first played it, but I don't know what that says about me. Here we have Pilotwings Resort. So, simply enough, this was, I believe, one of the first, if not the first, 3DS game that I played. I don't know if I owned it first, but it was the first one that I played, because I remember they had this little display at my local Target. And before I got my 3DS, I loved going to the electronics section in Target, and they had this little 3DS display, and you could play like one level from Pilotwings Resort, and I would love going to Target just so I could try this game out. And it was so fun. I think I was just really excited because I really wanted my own 3DS, and so getting to play it was just really exciting for me. And then when I ended up getting a 3DS of my own, I wanted this game because I was like, I really want to try out the full Pilotwings Resort experience. Overall, it's okay. It's nothing too exciting. I mean, obviously, this isn't one of the games that really shows off why the 3DS is such a great console. I mean, it's not a bad game. I don't really know how to describe it, but it exists. It's just a game that is on the console, and it's a Pilotwings game. If you like the idea of flying around this island, and you like the idea of doing that on the 3DS, you're gonna like this game. Moving on. Okay, next we're gonna get into all of my Pokemon games, because I definitely have a lot of Pokemon games for the 3DS, and I'll try not to spend too much time on each individual one, because once you talk about one Pokemon game, I mean, I'm hesitant to say there's nothing you can say about, every Pokemon game has differences, but overall, they're all Pokemon games. We have Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire is a really good game, and I also have Omega Ruby, which I'll show off eventually. But this is a really good remake of the 3rd generation of Pokemon games. There's a lot in this game to do, and a lot of Pokemon to see, and just a lot of stuff in this game, and that's why I love this game and Omega Ruby. I remember I got Omega Ruby first, and I played that one first. But eventually, I wanted this one because I wanted to experience it all again with sort of a different feel to it, and I don't regret it. I don't regret getting this game. I like both of these games a whole lot. I wish Nintendo, or I guess Game Freak, would make Pokemon remakes that were like this. Every single time. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl kind of disappointed me, especially coming off of the hype of this game. I was really hoping that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl would have as much content as these games, and they just didn't. So maybe this gave me too high expectations, but who knows. Next we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity. So Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is a franchise that I would say I'm a pretty big fan of. I've played Explorers of Time and Explorers of Darkness. I mean, they're pretty much the same game, but both of them are both really good. And it made me a really big Pokemon Mystery Dungeon fan. I don't think I ever played the Red Rescue Team or Blue Rescue Team games, but they look like they're just as fun, and I really wanted this one because this was the big 3DS entry. It had Pokemon from Black and White. It was in 3D. It was exciting, and I played it, and it was good. Like, I think a lot of people, I don't know, I think it's another case where people had really high expectations for this game when it was coming out, because the previous games, Explorers of Darkness and Time and Sky, were really good, and I don't think that this game met their expectations. Does that make it a bad game? Maybe. No, I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's really good. I just think if you're looking for something, if you're looking for an experience that's as deep as those DS games, Explorers of Darkness and Time and Sky, you're not necessarily going to find it here, but you're definitely still going to find a good, solid mystery dungeon experience with this game. So definitely like that one. Here we have Omega Ruby. Like I was saying earlier, played this one to death. I think I actually clocked in more hours in this game than any other Pokemon game. So if that's something to mention, there you go. Next we have Pokemon Rumble Blast. So this was another one of the first games that I got for the 3DS, and I simply got it just because it was a Pokemon game. I had never played a Pokemon Rumble game. I mean, obviously, the only Pokemon Rumble games that existed when this came out were the original Pokemon Rumble on WiiWare, and then this one. And so, I didn't even really know what Pokemon Rumble was, but I saw this was Pokemon. I saw that it was out. It was the only Pokemon game on the 3DS at the time because X and Y had not come out yet. So I was like, sure. And so I asked for it again for Christmas, got it for Christmas, and I played it. And I don't remember too much about it. I remember it was okay. Like, I had a decent enough time playing it, but I feel like it might have just been because it was a Pokemon game, not because it was a good game. But, it's not really one that I can recommend. Like, the gameplay is really repetitive, and there's just not a lot of substance to it. It's just, it's really just like a kid's game. Like, I think kids that like Pokemon, like I was, are gonna get enjoyment out of it, but that's pretty much it. And even Pokemon fans, like long-term Pokemon fans, you're not gonna find a lot here. But you know what? For what it was, I enjoyed it at the time. Next, we have Pokemon Sun. This was another entry in the 3DS titles of Pokemon, and there's a lot of hype around this game when it was coming out. And I remember I played it, and I really liked it at the time. Looking back on it, there's not a lot that I can say was super memorable. I mean, like, I loved this game, and I still kind of love this game, but it just didn't leave as much of an impression on me as other Pokemon games. But that doesn't make it a bad game. It's definitely still a really good Pokemon game, and there's a lot to love about it. And it was it wasn't the last 3DS Pokemon game that would come out. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were technically the last ones, but it's still, like, it has a lot of value. Like, there's a lot of value in this game, and it's really cool. Like, they did a good amount of things that were different from other Pokemon titles, and so I appreciate that. But this was an instance where there's a lot of hype for this game because it was coming out on Pokemon's 20th anniversary, and I don't think it necessarily met every expectation. I'm saying that a lot because it's kind of true. It didn't really meet every expectation that people were having for it, but that's okay. It's still a good game. Next, we have Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. I never finished this game. I think by this point I was kind of, I wanted this game, and I really liked Gates to Infinity, but I just didn't have a lot of motivation to play through this game. There just didn't seem to be a lot that was, like, riveting about it. Even in comparison to other Mystery Dungeon games, like, it was just kind of felt like more of the same. Which isn't bad, because Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is a really fun franchise, but it didn't really compel me to play it. So, I have yet to actually finish this game or even really play it a whole lot. Like, I don't even think I got through, like, the first, like, couple chapters or whatever. I don't even remember what goes on in this game. There's Mega Evolution. That's cool, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know what else to say about that game because I didn't finish it. I'm just kind of reorganizing stuff here. Okay, the next game, another Pokemon game, Pokemon Ultra Moon. So I'm a Pokemon fuck. So I wanted this game, even though it's basically just a remake or retelling of Pokemon Moon. I still wanted it, so I got it eventually. But you know what? I don't regret getting it because this was another Pokemon game that I played a lot. I do wholeheartedly think that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are better games than Sun and Moon. There's a lot in these games that wasn't in Sun and Moon. There are a few things that are like a little weird that they changed in these games, if I recall. I can't name any specific examples, but I do recall they changed some things that I was like, that's kind of weird that you changed that. But overall, I like this game, or I like these. I only have Ultra Moon. I don't have Ultra Sun. I thought I had Pokemon Moon and Sun, like Sun and Moon, but I don't know where my Pokemon Moon copy is, so I guess I'm just showing off Sun this time. But I have Pokemon Ultra Moon, and it's a good game. Next we have Pokemon X. This was the first 3D Pokemon game, or at least the first main series 3D Pokemon game. And I say that because obviously there's Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness, and those are usually forgotten as 3D Pokemon games that have story modes. But those weren't main series. So this is technically the first main series 3D Pokemon game. And it's really good. I don't know if a lot of people look back on it fondly, which is weird because I really like Pokemon X. It was another one that I played it so much. I beat it in like a week because I could just not stop playing it. It was just like, it was my obsession for a while. The hype behind this game, like leading up to release, was such an exciting time, because it was just like, wow, Pokemon's on the 3DS for the first time. It's so cool. And so, I like this one. This is probably one of my favorite 3DS games of all time, if I'm being completely honest. Next we have sort of an oddball, regular show Mordecai and Rigby in 8-Bit Land. So this game, I don't think I ever formally asked for this game. I think my mom got it for me, because simply enough, I liked regular show, and I remember watching this show when I was little. I think she was like, hey, here's a regular show video game, have fun. And I remember playing it. It's a nice little 2D platformer. If you like regular show, you're probably gonna find some value in this game, but it's nothing too exciting. It's just kind of like, it's a licensed game. It's like, what else really is to say about it? It's a generic, licensed kids game based on regular show. But it's fun. You get to play as Mordecai and Rigby and beat, these bosses. It's 8-bit, like the title implies. And so, you can kind of see action platforming, old school shooter and side scroll shooter combined. Play as Mordecai and Rigby. Those are the selling points. So, take that as you will. I'm not really going to say anything else. Next we have Scribblenauts Unlimited. So I really like the Scribblenauts franchise. I got the original Scribblenauts, and I got Super Scribblenauts for the DS, both for the DS. And so when this game got announced, I really wanted it, and I got it. And simply enough, it's another Scribblenauts game. They polished up the presentation of Scribblenauts. If you don't know what Scribblenauts is, Google it. But it's fun. It's more Scribblenauts, and that's what I wanted with this game, so I was not disappointed. If you're gonna get a Scribblenauts game, though, get I believe that they have either a trilogy or at least a duology of this game and the DC related Scribblenauts game on the Switch. I actually ended up getting that for the Switch, because I had only ever had this game handheld, or I guess on the 3DS, and I wanted it on the Switch because I wanted to play it on the TV, and it was fun. But so if you are curious about the Scribblenauts franchise, I would get that version, not this version. But this one was still a fun time. Next, we have Super Mario 3D Land. This was, I believe, another one of the first 3DS games that I ever got. And it's a really good Mario game. It's a really good 3D Mario game. This was like the start of the trend of, and by trend I mean they made 2 games in this style. But this was kind of like the beginning of when they started making 3D Mario games that weren't necessarily these big grand adventures. They were very similar to like 2D Mario games in terms of presentation and design. Like you don't have these massive levels where you're trying to like do a bunch of different tasks to get stars, but rather you go through a 3D level, a solidly made 3D level, and you get to the end and you hit the flagpole, try to collect some star medals or star coins along the way, and it's a good time. It's just a good Mario game. But if you're looking for a game that's like Super Mario 64 or Sunshine or Galaxy, you're not going to find that here, and that's okay. Not every Mario game has to be that big of a spectacle, and it was kind of nice just having like a little, fun, nothing special Mario game on the 3DS. And I say nothing special, but this game is special, don't get me wrong. Like it's a good Mario game, and it's really fun, and it's a 3D game. If you liked New Super Mario Bros. 2, you'll probably like this game. I'll say that much. Moving on, we have Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. This game, I was so excited to get this game, and it was so exciting playing this on the 3DS. I love the Smash Bros. Franchise, as a lot of people do, and oh my gosh, I was just so hyped to play this on the 3DS. It was the first handheld Smash Bros. Game. It was crazy. And it's a really solid package. I mean, obviously, every Smash Brothers game kind of replaces the last one, except for, well, that's not always true. But specifically with this game, if you want to play a Smash Brothers game like this, just play Ultimate. But this is still a really good game. There's still a lot to love about this game in retrospect. They really made Smash Brothers feel so natural on the 3DS, and it was incredible. There's so much content in this game. Trophies are still in this game. I can't say that about Ultimate. And I loved playing this game, especially like with my friends. We played at school all the time, and I don't regret a single minute of it. It was so fun. So love this game. All right, going to the last 3 we have here. We have The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D, the only Zelda game that I own on the 3DS. Well, physical Zelda game. I had never played. I never really played much Zelda. I wasn't like the hugest Zelda fan, but I still had a big appreciation for the series. And when I saw that they re-released what was considered the best Zelda game of all time for the 3DS, I was like, you know what? I want to pick that up. So I picked this game up. And by picked it up, I mean I asked for it for my birthday or something, and then I played it, and I really liked it. I don't think I ever finished it, is the thing, and it's a bad habit I have with Zelda games specifically. But I get stuck at a certain area, and then I never end up finishing it. I never end up like getting building up the willpower to go back and finish the game. But I still really liked playing it. I still really liked playing up till the point that I got to. It was really fun. And it really does show, like it's really polished. Like they really took the original Ocarina of Time and just they polished the hell out of it. The graphics look way nicer. The mechanics, it's Ocarina of Time. Simple enough. Like they didn't have to do much to it to make it better. But it's still, like, in my opinion, the definitive way to experience Ocarina of Time. So definitely recommend it. I believe this is another Nintendo Selects. So you're going to be able to pick this up for pretty cheap, and it's really good. Next we have Tomodachi Life. Oh my god, this game is so fun. I remember seeing a YouTuber review this game on his YouTube channel, and he just made it look like such a bizarre time, such a fun, bizarre time. And it really is just that. You take a bunch of your Miis and you just watch them interact. And it's so fun that it makes for, really funny experiences, and it's just something that you need to play yourself to really get why it's so fun to play this game. Like, you just have to play it yourself. But I remember playing this a lot, just checking in on it, checking in on my friends and what they were doing. My family members, when I put them in the game, what they were up to. It's just crazy. It's just like a crazy time, and I loved it a lot. And I really wish that they would make a sequel to this game. I was hoping they would make a sequel to it on the Wii U. That never happened. Hopefully, maybe, cross your fingers, we get something like this on the Switch. We obviously have like Miitopia or whatever. Like I guess that's supposed to be like this, but come on, man. I want a Tomodachi Life game. Make like Tomodachi World, Tomodachi Universe, Tomodachi... something. Just give me more Tomodachi Life, please. I need it. I need this. And then the final 3DS game I have to talk about right now, well, asterisk, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. And this is technically for the new Nintendo 3DS, which I mentioned I ended up getting one of those. This is a remake of, or a re-release, whatever you want to call it, remaster of Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. Xenoblade Chronicles came out very late in the Wii's lifespan. But it came out and it was received really well. It was like considered one of the best Wii games. And so they made a re-release of it for the 3DS, and it's really good. I really wanted to play this game because it just looked really good, and the fact that it's portable. Are you kidding me? Like, that's great. Like, if you ever see like gameplay of this game, or if you know about this game, it's insane that they are able to fit it on a handheld. I mean, obviously you can't play it on the original 3DS model, whatever. But if you have a new Nintendo 3DS, it's definitely worth playing. There's a lot to this game. I mean, obviously they have a re-release of it on the Switch now, which is probably the better way to go if you want to play this game portably, or if you want to play this game at all. But this was still a really good experience, and I don't think I ever finished it. As a lot of games, but it was still, every moment I played of it was really fun. So definitely a good game. So that's my 3DS game collection. There were a couple that I didn't get to talk about, and first one was Kid Icarus Uprising. I did own that game at one time, but I lost the game card because I was stupid, and I brought the game card to a movie theater, but not the case. I think I was planning on giving it to my friend or something because we were seeing a movie, and I was going to just let him borrow the game while we were there. I don't know why I didn't just bring the box, but I brought the little game card with me in my pocket, and then I lost it in the movie theater. I never saw it again, which sucks, because Kid Icarus Uprising is a fantastic 3DS game. But, yeah, I still have the box, so if I ever end up getting like a second-hand copy of it, like just the game, I have the box for it, so that's nice. And then the last 3DS game, physical 3DS game that I actually do own, is Paper Mario Sticker Star, which is a really polarizing game. But I never actually ended up getting the physical box for the game. I remember my dad bought me the game. He just bought me the game card. He bought me a used copy of it with just the game card from GameStop. And I still really appreciate it. I still loved playing the game. I do wish I had the box, though. So one day I hope to just get a copy of the box so I can keep the game in it. But overall, and a lot of people hate on that game, I thought it was okay. Like, it wasn't anything too special. I have played other Paper Mario games. I know that the series used to be so much better. It's not what it used to be. I get all that. But Sticker Star is not the devil's incarnate. Don't let people fool you. But, if you're looking for an RPG, it's not an RPG. But anyway, yeah. That was my 3DS game collection. Bye.